Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. It's me, Antonio, back with another video for the family. Hopefully everyone is being safe. Really wanted to talk about something really quick before I wake up in the morning and it's released from my memory. Look at the moon. So I'm caught on YouTube, I'm editing thumbnails on my laptop on my cell phone, and the autoplay. So in MSNBC came up, and they're talking about everything, from C19 to politics, all the the talking points they like to talk about. So what was this? It came out yesterday. It was on the 28th. It was interviewing a former running presidential candidate that a lot of black people were endorsing, like Candace Owens and Killer Mike and other folks as well. Sort of a martyr in his own right? But they were discussing, people were, there are a lot of jobs now. They're like kind of raising, their wages from minimum wage, which will be anywhere from $9 to $10, and they've been raising them slowly, incrementally, because people are, aren't going back to work. People are, trying to use the monies that they receive to open up their own home-based business. So indeed, they're trying to contribute to the national or the global economy. They start businesses, they catch flights, they have business meetings, they purchase products and things like that, keep the industry still going. We are aware that automation is a real thing. I go to Walmart and I check out my own things in the checkout line. Even when I go to if I ever happen to go to McDonald's, and this was one of the reasons why I stopped going to McDonald's, when you go in to order your food, they don't even take your order at the counter anymore. They have automated machines in there that you would place your order in, and then you just have to wait for someone to call your name out, or whatever the case may be. So, some of these jobs, again, are going from $9 or $10 an hour to a $12 or $13 an hour. Even upstate or in other states as well, someone that would be, considered to be of a higher capacity or whatnot. The major cities, California, New York, Texas, Miami or Florida, should I say. And you could find jobs like McDonald's hiring for $13.50 an hour and things like that. Even some places are offering additional benefits, like free transportation, or like $50 transportation vouchers and things like that. But it's like, why even do all these extra benefits? Why take the money that you should be raising the wages for on and giving people bus passes? It's like, you're paying for this stuff anyway, so why don't you just add the extra $1, $2 onto the salary? Give the people $15, $16 an hour. What is so complicated? What's so hard about that? They have to pay it back in taxes anyway. Everyone has a right to their own freedom, to their own liberty, to their own freedom of speech, and their own rights to express themselves in a moral way. And they're kind of using code words for the most part. That's why it's always good to have good people with their third eye open, or have a higher perspective when they start to use or switch out these different codes. It's just like having language, or speaking English and speaking Spanish. You have black or you have negro. And the conversation switched up a little bit. It went from that whole thing, trying to add wages, few dollars here and there, to the hourly wages and things like that. And then they are working on, they've been coming out with all these stimulus packages and things like that. They should have just did all this a year ago. I don't know why they had to wait until the second year, well into the second year of this whole lockdown, to try and change up tactics now. They even went from wording social distancing to social something. I can't even remember what the whole word switch up was. And they seem to be talking about reparations, but they're talking about it in a coded way. They're calling it reconciliation. So I'm not sure if this is something that's going to be geared towards minorities or people of color or just black people in general, African Americans, or our crowded downtown societies. I'm not sure what they're pretty much stating or what they're saying that they're going to be taking care of, like free health care, free housing, child care, raising wages, maybe even distributing funds. And this is the whole reason why we should be voting in our certain areas. It is a double-edged sword, but people do these things all the time. Again, when they log on to these social media websites with all these cookies and they display their whole life on these apps that ask for service agreements, that wants to take away your rights. Or that's just letting you know, hey, you're leaving a digital footprint here. So they allocate. My last job was working with the census, the 2020 census. Again, they count up everyone in the country. They take the census count every 10 years, and they've been doing it for about 300 years. So that's my knowledge. This is my whole thought process when I see a 5-minute news clipping on YouTube that just came out yesterday, less than 24 hours ago. So that's all I really wanted to talk about. Just something minor. I never really get too much into the whole politics or the whole politics of what's going on. You have, it's like war. You have two sides of a war, and then you have those that like to teeter on that fence, that middle fence of the war, and trying to, influence things in a positive or a negative way. We don't need any more wars in this country. Pretty much all the wars are digital now. Everything is media. Medea, ancient Greek goddess, of course. Black people aren't familiar with why Tyler Perry named his character Medea or Media or Medea, goddess of illusion, a man turning himself into a woman, again expressing his self in his full masculinity. Women have tricks, they have magics, they created language, they use hair, makeup, weaves, and all these things. They love changes of scenery. It's not so nefarious all the time. It's just most of them are confused. But yeah, enjoying myself. I'm gonna take myself back into the house. It's been raining so much lately that it's a lot of bugs out. It's a lot of mosquitoes out here. It wasn't that many mosquitoes out here last night. But yeah, that is my rant for the evening. Look out for, I guess we'll probably be discussing this soon, right? In regards to their reconciliation act or their reconciliation plan. We're gonna force them to say reparations, right? Be safe.